Hello, welcome back to Farming Simulator 2017. We've been away for a little while actually, and took a small hiatus and trying to come back now and revive the channel. Quite a few things going on actually in real life, and then also in the game here. So take a little bit of time and get caught up. One of the first things that I did is I've changed out a lot of mods, and so get the tractor started up here. So I had a 7R on the server before, but this is a different variation, so using some of the stuff by custom modding, and had to make a couple small edits because actually this tractor, when I hooked the planter up, was showing it is a front attach, which was a little bit odd for me. And so I found there was a small error in the XML files, so we cleaned that up and got it going. I really like the mod. I've also installed their 8R mod and their combine mods, so we'll be using those when we get to harvest. So you'll notice that I've already started planting this field off camera, and we're going to go ahead and hire a worker and let this kind of go on its own, work on this field while I go around the farm and show you guys what else has changed. I just want to make sure that he's going to have enough room to turn around here on both ends before I peace out. And do I have my worker settings set up right? 'Cause oops, there it was. They are not on refill for seed and fertilizer. Good, so we're using it right out of the planter. Yep, perfect. I'm gonna follow this down to the end, make sure that the other end is the one I'm more worried about. But yeah, so you'll notice we're here in field 14. We're planting our soybeans, and this is because we want to be able to start doing hogs here, pigs. And so we've already got corn and wheat planted, and so soybeans will help us fill that out. We've got sugar beets planted, I believe it's sugar beets we planted already over in the other field here. And so soybeans is going to round out the last of the crop types that we need to be able to do hogs. And they tend to be a low volume, high value crop, so it's easier to plant. Oh, are we going to do it? Oh, turns a little bit funny. Oh, looking good though. Good deal. So we had a different tractor before. We had the, I think it was a 7400, and the mod worked fine, but it was an older tractor, and so I swapped it out for a 6R, just because the 6R, it worked with the John Deere front loader, which I liked, and it's just a better mod in general. I just like how the tractor looked a little bit more, and we'll have a little bit more flexibility. Honestly, this thing could be running the planter right now. I just loaded it up with some wide tires. I figure we're gonna need something in the yard to move bales eventually, but move pallets and do different things. So that's really the other major change that I made. We've got the grain wagon and stuff that I brought back to the farm finally. I think I did that off camera. I can't remember. And if I remember right, we were going to be going and setting up for the mowing, and so let's just go over there and check out that farm. We're gonna go ahead and drop this off, and if I back up a bit, I can drop this here, and we'll go over to the pig farm across the road here and see if I got the stuff for mowing set up yet. So this is field 18, which I'll probably do in soybeans as well. Haven't really decided yet. Okay. Oh, I did get the whole baling set up. So I have a front hydraulic here, so I can do the John Deere mowers. I've got a nice square baler purchased. I got a windrower. And oh, we parked the disc over here when we were done. Okay. So I think I'll go ahead and just hook the mower up right now because we don't need anything else for this tractor, at least for now. And this tractor will be perfect for mowing. And just pull it out here. I'm curious to see if the colors match. It doesn't matter that much. Not quite, but pretty close. Close enough. But I don't think we need it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and back this back in here. And we're going to turn it off. And we're going to take a quick look at the map, because I have not even, other than logging in and making sure that the mods all got switched out, I haven't actually taken a look at the map to figure out what was going on in this game. And so let's just double check here. So yeah, so we had our corn, we had our wheat, we're planting soybeans right now, we've got sugar beets over here, and so I was just gonna fill the rest of this with soybeans, I think. And then field 20, which is kitty corner to me, I can't remember what kind of field that was. Oh, we could have taken the tractor, I guess, but we'll just run over there. Bum, bum, bum. I'm curious if it's a grass field or a real field. So this one shows as grass on the map, but it's an actual field. Okay, so it is a grass field, so that's good. So we're gonna do a bunch of mowing and baling out here. Can I use this? This is a grass field. It's 67% grown. So if I look at growth, oh, I gotta turn grass on. I turn grass on, and then look at growth. It is the earliest ready to harvest state right now. So we could actually go mow some grass. Let me see if I can remember. Is this the seasons? Yeah. Grass can be harvested starting on day 3. Awesome. Okay. Well, this seems to be going good. So let's go ahead and jump in 6R here and go mow some grass. So yeah, my 3+ month hiatus was for 2 reasons. One, the first reason, probably the biggest reason, I ended up starting a new job and it required me to do a lot of travel. And so I've just been going all over the world lately and have not had the time to really record or stream like I was before. And then the other big thing that's been going on is just that I ended up getting a bunch of dental work done, and I have this crazy lisp that was kind of hard to get over. I had a dental appliance put in and made it really hard to talk for a while, and so I had to get to a point where I felt a little less self-conscious, I guess, and that I could actually talk well enough to record and have people understand me. And so I think I've kind of gotten to that point again. And so we're just going to go ahead and mow this field. And so yeah, so it's been kind of a busy few months here, but I'm more or less back to my normal self. And a whole lot less busy than I was a couple months ago. Or I shouldn't say a whole lot less, but I'm actually home for more than a day in a row, so that's good. and been having a hankering to get back into some farming. uh, I'm super excited about the FS19 stuff that's coming out. I mean, yeah, the John Deere stuff is really exciting, but to see that they're actually adding a lot of other American-based machinery and thinking into the game with the Wilson trailers and stuff, that's just what I'm more familiar with from the most typical Midwest style semi-trailers and farms, and so I'm really excited to see more of that stuff in the game. And so the John Deere part is super exciting because I know that Giants will do an awesome job with their models as always. But I wanted to get a chance to really try some of this stuff out in FS17 as well before switching to 19. And there's all these really great mods that have come out in the last few months that I hadn't had a chance to try, especially a lot of the stuff by Custom Modding, putting out all of their US-based John Deere mods and things. So I wanted to take a chance and finish this series and get a chance to play with Seasons as well, because I don't know how long it'll take for a Seasons type mod to show up in Farming Simulator 19. And yeah, Seasons is always seemed super cool to me, and this was supposed to be my first real chance to give it a shot. So I want to at least play through a couple of seasons, do some animals, and learn a little bit more about how it goes. And so I'm cutting this grass, and I just remember we need to be careful that it's not going to rain. So it's sunny today, I think. Yeah, there's the weather for the next in-game few days. And so I should be good to go as long as I get it all done, which 3 game days is plenty of time. My lights are tied to the same key as the Seasons key. Just checking on that worker. Looks like he's still going pretty good. So this is a pretty big field. I think I'm just gonna do the one pass around, and then go ahead and just start going back and forth now. I'm curious if the worker's able to handle this. You can hire a worker. Awesome. So, yeah. I think we're gonna do some mowing here for a little bit, and probably time-lapse past getting through this field for a lot of the mowing. I know it's not the most entertaining to sit and watch the mower go back and forth here, so we'll go ahead and do some time-lapse and see how much of this field we can get done today. I did bump my speed down while I was getting set up here. I think I'm going to put it back up to times 15. I think that's what we kind of talked about on one of the previous recordings as the best speed for how much work we have to do right now while it's a small farm. Let's see how this guy does at the end here. Great. So we'll see you in a little bit. Actually, it looks like the planter has stopped. So let's go ahead and go fill this back up. Tank is empty. Tank isn't empty. What is your problem? This is probably due to my modification of the mod. I think I have to adjust, like I adjusted the fill, but I think there's another spot that I need to adjust in the planter for it to work properly. Now that I think about it, I will have to do that off camera. But we're gonna just go ahead and fill up. Oh, that's two different kinds of fertilizer showing there. Where's that seed? Oh, that's seed. Interesting. It's a little finicky. I should have got just a smidge closer, I guess. Just move it over. Yeah, I modded the seeder to work a little bit better. And apparently I've missed something. It's okay. Almost done with this field. Oh, got a strip on the headlands there though. Let's just go over here, get back on our track. Huh. Why is the... You first need to fill the tool. What? Well, that isn't. That's fertilizer. Yeah, both of those are fertilizer. Where's my seed? I thought this was seed. I don't know. Liquid fertilizer, regular fertilizer, and I have no seed. Okay. Interesting. I would have swore that that one was seed, though. Hang on. Pellets. No, that is solid fertilizer. Okay. Well, we need to get us some seed. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to need the 6R to go get the seed. So we're going to go ahead and park him back here. And, oops, we're going to look at our garage. Just make sure I don't still have the goofy trailer. Nope. Alright. So if I come over here, I'm going to let this turn around, and then I'm going to drop the mowers off. And leave it in line so that I don't have to realign everything when I get back. And then we'll go get the front loader and go buy a thing of seed. A couple things of seed. So, go ahead. Worker's pretty smart. And then if I drop you off there, drop you off there. We'll just run back to the farm and hook us up. And here I thought we were going to be sitting around. Got plenty of work to do. I wonder if I can mow that field too. It doesn't have a field number on it. go into cab mode here. Go get our trailer. I can't believe I wasted the wrong kind of fertilizer. I gotta fix the, whatchamacallit, the planter so it only has one kind of fertilizer. Alright, we got the trailer hooked up now. Get that hooked up. We will go and get us some seed pallets. I keep telling myself I gotta get I have my steering wheel set up. It's even plugged into the computer. It's just not in a spot where I can record with the camera and the green screen and everything else, the microphone, and use it. So I need to move my whole desk area back so I can pull the steering wheel and pedals and everything in. I've got the Satex setup, which it's not the highest quality setup, the steering wheel, but I like it. All the buttons and everything are mapped really well for Farming Simulator, so it does work pretty good. And I am kind of just driving. If I remember right, the store's over there. I should check. Yeah. I'm just gonna go get some seed. Move my mirrors. Alright. You do like the details on the road and stuff, so really well done, Matt. If I remember right, this trailer has auto load. So if I go ahead here, I'm going to be doing a fair amount of planting, so I'm going to go ahead and buy 4 of these so I don't have to come back later. And if I come in here, whoa, that is some flashiness. That's odd. Okay, just minimize that, see if I can get this to pick them up. There we go. And back to the farm we go. I could hold a lot of pallets on this thing. Nobody coming, so we're just gonna speed through here. And see how fast we can get back to the farm. Yeah, my forklift skills are subpar, so this will be interesting to unload. I mean, I know I can do an auto unload too, but I'll probably manually unload these and then just take one right out to the tractor here and see if I can just dump it in on top. Be easier than dragging the tractor back out of the field. I should have just left it in the yard while I was there. Not a lot of room, I guess. And we're back to the yard. So I'll probably just pull this back around and park it where it was, and then unload them from there. And I want to get this thing mowing again before it gets too late. Drop the trailer off. And then we are not going to try loading in first person. We're going to do it this way. Alright. Drop this down like that. Go ahead and get lined up. And woohoo. What? Can I not scoop this? Interesting, they're like locked to the trailer. That has got to be... How do I... How do I unload? I got it there. It's just bizarre. I've got... Oh, it's Y. Okay. Y. Okay, well that's odd. I thought I could unload them off the trailer, but I guess not. Or maybe I can, I just don't know how. Who knows? It's something to look into later. But that means we can go ahead and scoop them up from the ground the old-fashioned way. Oops. And out to the field we go. Bum, 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 bum. Loading up our tractors. Oh, it's all folded up still. Oh, I should still be able to load it, I think. Perfect. Just in there for a second. Jump in here. And get you going. Really got to figure out why I have two types of fertilizer. Well, I mean, I guess technically it's capable of that, but... We'll go ahead and pick these up and put them over next to the barn there. Well, let's leave the fertilizer there, and we'll put the seed right here, I think. And scoopity scoop. Oops. Wow. Took a piece out of that trailer. Alright. Just drop this in here. Nice and messy. And go back over here and grab the last one. Oops. Let's try not to kill the trailer. I have my field of vision set pretty wide. I guess it looks a little bit odd when I'm in cab. Is it not coming off? It came off. Just slide you in. Alright, let's get back to that mowing though. Alright. It's gonna be nighttime soon. I'm gonna get this field mode. And I don't have a tedder right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all the grass, to be honest. I feel like I should have thought about that. If I can turn it into hay or turn it into silage. Whoops, dragging on our crops. I don't remember if I sprayed this field. Oh well. We've got plenty of grass.